Hello everybody. I'd like to suggest to as many of you as possible to follow Virgin's example and help give ex-offenders a chance. This might be as simple as considering them for a job interview. If you take the chance, you might be surprised that they end up being your very best employee. And if you don't try, you'll never know. I understand that companies tend to disregard people who have been in prison, possibly to fear them, but I believe for all the wrong reasons. Behind every conviction, there's often a very moving story. Well, we at Virgin can testify that ex-offenders are ready to go the extra mile to prove themselves. We work with the St Giles Trust, patroned by Prince William, and we hope that more companies will work with them to break this cycle. I believe in giving everybody a fair chance, and I hope you do too. Thank you.
What I find most fascinating is that on major studies about our work using ex-offenders to deliver our services predominantly, we are able to save the taxpayer £10 for £1 invested in St Giles Trust. We can bring down reoffending rates by up to 40%. So my big ask to you out there is, what can you do to help St Giles Trust? It may be giving a few offenders a chance for work. It may be actually mentoring some of our staff. But there is something in there for everyone to make a real difference in society. Thank you.
When you talk to a new employer about hiring an ex-offender, it's all about risk. So there's the risk they're going to steal the computer, there's the risk to fellow staff, there's the risk to the customers. And one of the ways that we get around that is by introducing potential employers to our candidates, and they suddenly realise that there are a huge number of people out there who've just made a mistake.
I went to prison when I was 22, and at the time I was working in the city as an accountant. I just got a really good job as a finance manager in a consultancy, and then got caught up with the wrong guy and ended up getting a 12-year prison sentence. Never in a million years would I have thought I could go to prison. I've got an uncle that's a judge, my sister's married to a police officer that's quite high up in the Met, and all my friends are professional people, you know, social workers and accountants. So I come from a really good, solid background and a good, solid social circle as well. In prison, I've met prison officers, judges, you know, right down to sort of people that are using, you know, drugs and been in and out of prison, right up to sort of like 70 to 80-year-old ladies. That's what I've learnt from it. You can't judge people because it could happen to you.
I want to put an ex-offender in front of a potential employer, and that person hires them because they're the best person for the job.
Ten years ago we recruited our first ex-offender, and since then we've become one of the biggest employers of ex-offenders in the country, and I think as of today we have 278 foundation colleagues, as we call them. We've got lots of people who manage our shops, we've got people who work in the office here, talking to customers and doing the job of repairing shoes, cutting keys, repairing watches, engraving things or developing people's photos. In 10 years' time we will be employing tens of thousands of ex-offenders. What we found is those who join us from prison are extra keen to make sure that it works, and when we recruit someone who's really good and amazing, they are often much better than those we would find through normal employment channels. So I encourage anybody to go into a prison, walk around, meet the inmates and just recruit one ex-offender, and from that one step you will see what you're missing.
You know, we're a young organisation. I think we're quite a progressive organisation. We wanted to help London, a great capital city. We wanted to help young people. We're a young business, and we looked at lots of different charities, but St Giles Trust was the standout one because of the impact, the direct impact it had on people's lives.
Well, while I was in prison, I obviously had a lot of time to think, and I thought to myself, basically I don't want to do no more time in prison. I don't want to ever go back to prison again.
The thing we didn't really understand was how difficult it was for an ex-offender to gain employment, to be given a chance.
I think out of like 100 CVs sent out, I've got like 2 interviews, and I just felt like basically giving up, looking for work anymore.
And I think once we understood that, we tried a lot harder to find ways to bring them into the workplace.
Simon Stillwell of Liberum Capital approached us if we'd be interested in training up St Giles clients. The only contact I'd ever had with that group of people had been what you see on the news. The first client that we saw was Michael. He was fantastic. We really needed enthusiasm and fresh blood in our industry because we have a terrible skill shortage.
Most people won't give someone like me this sort of opportunity. So they see me have a criminal record and they think, no, we don't want him. But they give me a chance and I've taken it.
I can only hope that the next clients that come through are half as good.
If we break the cycle of reoffending and we get people like Michael back into society, back working, standing on his own 2 feet, then there's the obvious benefit that he's not drawing on society in terms of funding, and also I think there is the sort of the peer effect where he can be a better role model for the people around him and show people that there is the opportunity to take a different path and to lead a different life.
The past is the past, and people do change.
I hope everybody will consider following Virgin's example and help give ex-offenders a chance. That starts with giving them a job. Thank you.